let's go down to the let's go over to the told you so team. I'm not the type we are not the type of people to tell you we told you so, but we're gonna tell you so. So Ethan, fire away. You got the pick again.
I'm going to my Super Bowl champ 49ers. I said last week they're probably easily top 3 roster in the NFL. They absolutely proved that. They made a team, the Steelers, that a lot of people, Grant himself, predicted to make the playoffs, look like a college team. Like 199 yards to 1 at one point. Like Kenny Pickett didn't have a clue what the hell was going on. He was absolutely mortified out there. And Joey Bosa, or Nick Bosa, barely played. And now he has a sore hamstring, which is shitty. But
what a surprise! What a surprise!
Chris Jones,
another guy who held out.
I know. That's what I'm worried about. They're going to have a hamstring or a calf issue with that.
No, they looked phenomenal. Like they look damn good.
Yes, and you know when you think of the Steelers too, you think of that rough, tough physicality, but their O-line is nowhere to be found. They are they are abysmal. It's terrible, and that's what's going to cost. That's what's going to hold Pickett back. That's what's going to cost Najee Harris. They're great receivers.
Najee Harris is so overrated. I'm just going to say
that's because he's got nobody to block for him.
They refuse
to address the offensive line.
He took 4 years of pounding at Alabama. When are we going to realize you don't draft Alabama running backs? After what Saban puts those guys through, especially those 17 and that 17 year and part of 18 when he was just running those guys into the ground.
Gibbs is lucky he was there at the right time. He didn't run a lot.
Gibbs was there at the perfect time.
Yeah. And my told you so team, and Ethan, I appreciate you not taking this one because I thought that this is who you were going to take. It's going to be the Bears.
Oh.
They were miserable. And when will it finally be acceptable to just say Justin Fields is not a good quarterback? Because
he's a wide receiver.
It's coming.
He's a wide receiver.
It's coming.
He's a YouTube quarterback. I told everybody sell their Bears stock, sell their Justin Fields stock. Caleb Williams could be their quarterback again. And you know they go out and make a big trade for DJ Moore. Did DJ Moore even have a catch? Did he do anything? Chase Claypool needs to be out of the NFL. That guy just wants to make TikToks.
They gave a second-round pick for that dude.
I bet Grant's so pumped Ryan Pace is gone right now from freaking Chiefs.
Oh, absolutely. God, you can clearly tell the Bears hired that loser just because of the organization he came from.
Yeah.
Like when the Lions hired Patricia. Hey, you know what? We're going to get this guy. You know why? Because he coached in New England. He wasn't good. He was there. So he got a job because of his success. And I'm sorry to take over your take here, Dylan, but I'm going to bag on Patricia, that fat fuck. He comes into Detroit as a team who won 9 games the year before and fired Jim Caldwell and goes, I need to change the culture. They won 9 games. You don't need to change anything.
Won 9 games.
The Detroit Lions won 9 games and went to the playoffs the year before that and just missed it. You need to change the culture? You arrogant bastard. We should have known he was a fraud when he wore a pencil in his hat with a laminated playbook. A laminated playbook, and he had a pencil in his hat. Total fraud. Go on, Dylan.
The defense was terrible. Their O-line also is abysmal. And Justin Fields, you look at his stats, it was similar stats to like a Josh Rosen, where it was like he was like 28. I can't remember, but at one point he was like 10 for 14, like 98 yards. That's similar to like what Josh Rosen was when he was a quarterback. He had stat lines that made absolutely zero sense. Where like Josh Rosen would be like 21 to 25 for 115 yards. Justin Fields is not a good quarterback, and we need to stop treating him like he's like this is why Vegas casinos never go bankrupt, is because people are stupid enough to buy Justin Fields MVP tickets.
And also, when he scrambles, he's too stupid to get out of bounds or slide. He just gets wrecked.
Yeah.
And then also, you know what? You know how you can tell this is the NFL? And I'm sorry, Justin, your legs aren't what you thought they were. In the first half, when he scrambles out to the right, and I'm thinking, oh, he's just going to get around this defensive end. But nope. 6'4", 270-pound Lucas Van Ness says, "Hey, you're coming with me,"
Yep.
and throws him into the sideline. It's like, sorry,
Mhm.
Justin, this ain't going to work anymore. To Ethan's point, you're going to get yourself killed.
Yeah, he got whipped on that play.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that's all I got for my told you so team. So, Grant, what do we got here for your told you so team now?
So I'm going to destroy the other team in MetLife Stadium who got shit rocked on Sunday night, and that would be the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Absolute
I knew you were coming around to being a
frauds.
Cowboys fan.
Frauds, the Giants are. I mean, last year after the unfortunate Vikings loss in the playoffs, I look at Ethan and I go, they're going to get killed by the Eagles. They lose 38-7. On Sunday night, what was it, Dylan? Was it 40-0?
40-0.
40-0. Their offensive line was a mess last year. The only thing they do to improve it is draft John Michael Schmitz, and they gave him no help on Sunday when Dallas just put a big 300-pounder in front of you. That's not fair. Both of your tackles are weak. You have no receivers. You overpaid for a quarterback who is Eli Manning 2.0.
He's worse than Eli Manning.
He's worse
he
than
ain't winning
Eli.
2 Super Bowls.
No.
Yeah, I know.
He's worse than that. Your pass rush was real bad last year. You try to have this blitzing style of defense. So what are we going to do? We're going to draft a corner. Corners don't win you games in this league. Where's Kayvon Thibodeau at? Where's this top 5 pick that I was happy for? I mean, they looked flat. They didn't want to play. Apparently, Brian Daboll had a party that same week, so he was more focused on that than his actual game. It's just they're a fraudulent team, and I had them nowhere near my playoffs predictions this year. And after they looked this last week, you'd be surprised if they win 5 games this year. And yeah, and on that note, I got to give credit where credit is due. Dallas's defensive line, Dallas's defense dominated that game. Mike McCarthy scored more points than Kellen Moore. He's the better play caller. Dallas dominated the Giants. Dallas dominated the Giants, and the Giants looked like frauds. That shouldn't surprise us because the Giants aren't good.
Well, and the Giants, they came out. They had a really good drive. They had a 1st and goal at like the 8, and then they had a false start, and then they snapped it over the center's head, and then a blocked field goal, and then the rain rains, it pours, and it was a torrential downpour there, literally and figuratively. And I thought, I enjoyed Mike. I thought Mike McCarthy did a good job play calling. Basically, big thing was Dak, 0 turnovers.
Well,
and they are going. I think Mike McCarthy, now that he is the play caller, I think you're going to see him do. He's going to have a very similar style to when Cooper Rush was the quarterback, where they're not going to do something to lose the game. They're not going to beat themselves.
Not many times do you have a $40 million a year annual value of contract for your quarterback, and you want to say less is more. But with that team, less Dak Prescott is more. Especially if you can get this running game going and keep this defense fresh, like Mike said, going into the week. If you keep that defensive front fresh against an absolute heinous offensive line that is the New York Giants, that looked like the Iowa Hawkeyes offensive line last year. At least on Sunday, their 2 tackles trying to block DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons. But that's going to happen. You're going to get your quarterback killed, and New York, who won the offseason, I don't know how, is going to look like frauds.